Did you know that every year, millions of older Americans face health issues that could have been easily avoided just by storing their food correctly? Even more surprising, some of the foods you've been keeping in the fridge for years might actually be harming your body, and others, if not properly chilled, they can turn dangerous, even deadly. For seniors, this is more than just a kitchen mistake. As we age, our immune systems weaken, digestion slows, and small errors that once meant nothing can now lead to serious illness. According to recent research, improper food storage can contribute to inflammation, nutrient loss, bacterial infections, and even accelerated cognitive decline, often without any warning signs. And here's the part most people miss: your refrigerator, the very place you trust to protect your health, might be silently shortening your life. But knowledge is power. In today's guide, we'll uncover 3 common foods you should never refrigerate, and 3 foods that must be kept cold, or the consequences could be devastating. Stay with us until the end, because what you learn today could protect your body, your memory, and maybe even save your life. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 inch in the comments. If not, type 0 inches to let me know how I can make better content for you. Senior health, 3 foods you should never refrigerate. 1. Fresh bread. You may think storing fresh bread in the refrigerator helps it last longer, but for seniors, this common mistake may quietly be taking something far more valuable: your comfort, your dignity, and even your health. Bread, especially the soft whole grain or enriched types, many older adults rely on for fiber and easy chewing, goes through a process called retrogradation when chilled. That's a fancy word for what happens when the starch hardens. Your soft, familiar slice becomes dry, stiff, and crumbly. And with every bite, you chew harder, swallow slower, and risk choking without realizing it. Just last month, I met Mr. Henry Lawson, a 78-year-old retired school teacher. He came in complaining of chest tightness after nearly choking on a piece of cold bread. His dentures had slipped, and the dry crust caught in his throat. What started as a light breakfast nearly turned into an ER visit. It was terrifying, not just for him but for his wife of 52 years, who now fears watching him eat alone. This was a man who had lived independently all his life, and it all began with one cold slice of bread. But there's a deeper issue. As bread loses moisture and texture, it often loses taste. So what do? We slather it with more butter, more jam, more sodium-laden spreads, just to make it palatable. Slowly, silently, this leads to weight gain, elevated cholesterol, and inflammation. For someone living with high blood pressure or borderline diabetes, it becomes a toxic cycle. What once felt like a simple sandwich now shortens your life. The price you pay isn't just poor texture or dry crumbs. It's the decline of independence at the table. It's the frustration of preparing food that no longer nourishes. And in the end, it's the loss of joy in eating, one of life's last and greatest pleasures in our senior years. The truth: bread doesn't need a cold shelf. It needs a dry cupboard, a soft cloth cover, and a little respect. Keep what you'll eat in a few days on the counter, and freeze the rest if needed. Reheat gently. Let each slice remain soft, safe, and full of life. But if something as innocent as a slice of bread can betray your health, what else in your kitchen might be hiding similar risks? Let's talk about the next one, a golden liquid you may be misusing without even knowing. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment 1 inch below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number 2. 2. Honey. For generations, honey has been a symbol of healing, used to soothe sore throats, support digestion, and even calm inflammation. It's natural, comforting, and often part of a senior's daily routine. But placing honey in the refrigerator, though seemingly harmless, can quietly turn this golden medicine into a frustrating, even harmful mistake, especially as we age. When honey is stored in the fridge, it crystallizes, it thickens, hardens, and forms rough, gritty clumps that are difficult to scoop or spread. That might not sound like a health issue until you realize what that means for someone with arthritis, limited hand strength, or reduced motor control. Imagine struggling just to open the lid, then feeling embarrassed when you can't even stir your tea without help. What was once simple and comforting becomes humiliating. Last winter, I treated Mrs. Eleanor Finch, 84, a widow who loved her nightly ritual of warm chamomile tea with honey, but her cold-stored honey had hardened. In trying to microwave the glass jar to soften it, she accidentally burned her hand. Her thin, aging skin couldn't protect her. That night ended in the emergency room, all because of a moment when she just wanted peace. But beyond physical injuries, there's a more serious hidden threat. Cold storage can slowly damage the antioxidants and beneficial enzymes in honey, the very components that reduce inflammation and support immune function. For seniors already battling chronic pain, diabetes, or weak immunity, this matters. You lose the medicinal benefits, you lose what helps keep you strong. It shortens your life, not in one dramatic moment but drop by drop, replacing healing with inflammation, comfort with frustration, and nourishment with risk. The price you pay is subtle, but deep. A weakened immune system, more frequent colds, rising blood sugar swings, and emotional wear as independence slips through your fingers over something so small. The answer is simple, yet powerful. Honey belongs in your pantry, not your fridge. Keep it sealed in a cool, dry cupboard where it stays smooth, safe, and ready to support you, not challenge you. And if a sweet golden jar like honey can hide such risks, imagine what could be hiding under the skin of your favorite fruit. A fruit most seniors eat daily, but almost always store the wrong way. Let's talk about bananas. 3. Bananas. There's something beautifully familiar about a banana. Soft, easy to chew, gentle on the stomach. For many older adults, it's the go-to fruit. It brings comfort, quick energy, and much-needed potassium. But what most seniors don't realize is that putting bananas in the refrigerator can quietly strip them of their value, one cold degree at a time. Bananas are tropical fruits. They were never meant to endure the chill of refrigeration. The moment they're exposed to cold, a slow but harmful process begins. The peel darkens, the inside turns mushy, but more alarmingly, the enzymes that naturally ripen the fruit begin to shut down. What you're left with is a fruit that looks edible but has lost its nutritional power, especially the antioxidants like dopamine and catechins that help fight inflammation and support brain health. I remember Mr. George Miller, 81, who came to my clinic with memory fog and worsening arthritis. He prided himself on eating a banana every day, chilled from the fridge, because he thought it kept them fresh. But we ran labs, and his dopamine levels were unusually low. Once we traced back his habit and replaced cold bananas with room temperature ones, his energy improved, and he even joked about feeling less foggy upstairs. It may seem small, but the way you store your food matters. Refrigerated bananas don't just lose flavor, they lose purpose. They no longer deliver the natural sugars that keep blood sugar steady, or the antioxidants that protect aging cells. Worse, moisture can collect under the peel of overripe bananas in the fridge, inviting mold and bacterial growth right near the stem.
a dangerous risk for anyone with a weakened immune system. It shortens your life, not dramatically, but by chipping away at brain clarity, joint comfort, and digestive strength, the very things that make your later years feel good. The price you pay is often invisible: slower thinking, more inflammation, and less enjoyment from a fruit that's supposed to help you thrive. The solution is simple: store bananas on the counter, away from direct sunlight. Let them ripen naturally. If they get too soft, peel and freeze them for smoothies, not the fridge. Now that we've uncovered the quiet dangers hiding in what shouldn't go in your fridge, what about the foods that must be kept cold, or else they become truly dangerous? Let's move into part 2, because this next category could protect your life. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment 1 inch below to let me know you're here. Now let's keep going with point number 4. Senior health. 3 foods you must keep cold. 1. Eggs. Eggs are often seen as one of the most wholesome, affordable sources of protein available, especially for seniors. Scrambled for breakfast, hard-boiled for lunch, or added into a light dinner, they're simple, nourishing, and easy to digest. But what many older adults don't realize is that eggs can become one of the most dangerous foods in your kitchen if they're not kept cold. In the United States, eggs are washed during commercial processing to remove bacteria, but this washing also strips away their natural protective layer, the cuticle, making them vulnerable to contamination. Once that layer is gone, the egg becomes a perfect breeding ground for bacteria, especially salmonella. And if it isn't kept cold below 40 degrees Fahrenheit, that bacteria can multiply quickly, even if the egg looks perfectly normal on the outside. I remember Mr. Walter Hill, a 76-year-old Army veteran, who came to my office with what he thought was just mild fatigue and an upset stomach. But within 24 hours, he was in the hospital with severe dehydration, dizziness, and and a dangerous drop in blood pressure. The cause? Scrambled eggs left sitting out on the counter for just a little too long. His immune system, no longer as strong as it once was, couldn't fight off the infection like it used to. What would have been a mild case in someone younger turned into a 4-day hospital stay for him, and a wake-up call. The truth is, seniors are especially vulnerable to foodborne illness. As we age, stomach acid becomes less acidic, our digestion slows and the immune system loses its edge. That means even a tiny amount of bacteria from a warm egg can cause serious problems: fever, confusion, nausea, or worse. And unlike spoiled milk, bad eggs don't always smell bad. Confusion, nausea, or worse. And unlike spoiled milk, bad eggs don't always smell bad. They often look and taste just fine until it's too late. That's why eggs must be refrigerated right away and always stored in the main body of the fridge, not the door, where temperatures fluctuate, not the door, where temperatures fluctuate. Any cooked egg dish should be put back in the fridge within 2 hours. And if you're unsure how long an egg has been out, don't risk it. Toss it. Your health is far more valuable than saving a few cents. Is a single careless far more valuable than saving a few cents? Because a single careless mistake with an egg doesn't just ruin your day, it can change your life. But eggs aren't the only everyday item in your fridge that could turn on you when handled the wrong way. Next, let's look at a creamy favorite found in almost handled wrong way. Next, let's look at a creamy favorite found in almost every senior's kitchen and the hidden dangers it holds if not kept cold. Dairy products.
There's something deeply comforting about dairy. A glass of cold milk with dinner, a bit of cheese with crackers, or a spoonful of yogurt after a meal. These are small daily pleasures for many seniors, rooted in tradition, taste, and nourishment. But here's a truth too many overlook. Dairy products can go from healthful to harmful quickly when they're not kept cold, and for older adults, That shift can carry serious consequences. Milk, cheese and yogurt are rich in protein, calcium and vital vitamins like B12, all of which help maintain bone strength, muscle mass, and cognitive clarity as we age. But those same nutrients also make dairy an ideal breeding ground for bacteria if left out of the fridge. And unlike spoiled meat, spoiled dairy often shows no clear sign. There may be no odor, no curdling, just a hidden danger that slips past your senses and straight into your body. I think of Mr. Larry Benson, age 82, who came into my office after several days of fatigue, joint stiffness, and unexplained stomach cramps. His wife had noticed he'd been drinking milk from a carton left out on the counter during breakfast. It didn't smell bad, he told me, but lab results revealed a bacterial infection that stressed both his kidneys and digestion, a serious issue for someone with his pre-existing conditions. He didn't even realize the milk was the cause. But once we changed that one small habit, his symptoms resolved and didn't return. As we get older, stomach acid becomes less acidic. The immune system weakens. Our tolerance for spoiled or contaminated food drops significantly. What might only cause gas or nausea in a younger adult can lead to hospitalization for a senior. And worse, dairy-related bacteria like Listeria can trigger long-term inflammation, aggravating arthritis, heart disease, and diabetes. So here's the rule: keep all dairy refrigerated below 40 degrees Fahrenheit and return it to the fridge immediately after use. Don't leave it on the table. Don't trust your nose alone. Use airtight containers and always check the date. In your golden years, your body deserves food that strengthens, not food that slowly breaks you down. But if you think spoiled milk is a hidden risk, wait until you hear what leafy greens can do when mishandled. You may never look at salad the same way again. 3. Leafy greens. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, romaine, and arugula are more than just salad ingredients. For older adults, they are medicine on a plate. These vibrant leaves are packed with folate for memory, vitamin K for bone strength, lutein for vision, and antioxidants that protect your heart and brain from the slow burn of inflammation. But all of those powerful nutrients vanish quietly and quickly when leafy greens aren't kept cold. Unlike root vegetables or canned goods, greens begin to deteriorate the moment they're harvested. If they're left at room temperature, especially in a warm or humid kitchen, the breakdown accelerates. The leaves wilt, moisture collects, and soon bacteria like E. coli and Listeria take hold, often before you even notice. A soggy leaf here, a slightly slimy texture there, but underneath the greens have become a breeding ground for illness. One of my longtime patients, Mrs. Helen Roth, 79, came to see me after a week of stomach upset, low energy, and painful bloating. She had switched to eating salads every day, thinking it was a healthy step, and it was, but her spinach had been sitting out on the counter, in an open bag for hours at a time. No smell, no discoloration. Yet lab results showed she had a mild case of foodborne illness, which her body struggled to recover from, all from trying to eat healthier. That's the harsh irony. What was supposed to heal her body ended up harming it, because the storage was wrong. For seniors, digestion slows and immunity weakens. That means the consequences of eating spoiled greens are not just a bad afternoon. They can lead to dehydration, worsen arthritis, trigger inflammation, and even interfere with medications. Nutrient loss also means your brain, bones, and eyes aren't getting what they need, even when your intentions are good. So please, store all leafy greens in your refrigerator, in the crisper drawer, wrapped gently in paper towels to absorb moisture. inside a breathable container or bag. Keep them cold and use them fresh. Don't wait, because what you store right can protect your body, and what you store wrong might quietly break it down. Final thoughts. Your refrigerator, your health, a silent partnership. As we grow older, the choices we make in our kitchen quietly shape the quality of our days. Not just what we eat, but how we store it can either protect our health or slowly wear it down. A refrigerator isn't just a modern appliance. For seniors, it's a silent partner in survival, a line of defense against bacteria, nutrient loss, and the invisible forces that can tip us from wellness into weakness. We've uncovered the hidden dangers of refrigerating foods like bread, honey, and bananas, items that seem innocent, but when mishandled, steal away comfort, nourishment, and independence. And we've seen why other items, eggs, dairy, and leafy greens, must be kept cold at all costs, especially for aging bodies that no longer bounce back the way they used to. Each decision, each shelf, holds a quiet consequence. These aren't just facts from a medical chart. These are stories I've seen unfold in real lives. Seniors who meant well, did what they thought was right, and still found themselves in the ER, fatigued, confused, or frustrated by something as simple as how they stored a carton of milk or a bunch of spinach. These moments are preventable, but only if we learn and act. The truth is, your fridge is either helping you age with strength or slowly undermining your efforts. And the difference is often just a few degrees, a few minutes, a few habits. But those small things, they matter deeply when you're 70, 80, or 90, because your body speaks in subtler ways now, and you've earned the right to treat it with care. So take this message to heart. Reorganize your kitchen, label leftovers, keep a short list on your fridge door, what to refrigerate, what not to. Most of all, share it with a spouse, a neighbor, or a grandchild. You may not just protect your own health, you might save someone else's too, because at this stage in life, we don't just want to live longer, we want to live wiser, stronger, and with dignity. And it starts right there, with the food you store and the care you take. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, drop a 1 inch in the comments, and if not, feel free to leave a 0. Your feedback truly helps us grow. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.